What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Thriller here, and we are here for week number 3 of the JJDL John Jr. Draft League. We are here taking on the Yama Blues and Coach Kahan, or Khan, however he likes to go by. I face Khan quite a few often, a bit, and he actually looks at me as one of the best battlers in the league, which is immense confidence. So, massive shouts to Khan. He definitely plays really well and has very good teams. I think last time we played, he actually beat me. So, and I think it was pretty close too, or a little bit of hex got on the way. I don't know, but we have a pretty interesting matchup here, where I kind of already kind of know exactly what Khan's going to be bringing this matchup, and what I what I can already kind of what I can already basically predict from Khan to bring this game. So if you guys are excited, like you haven't already, subscribed, you're new, join the Thriller Crew today because you'll be thrilling with the King of the Crew. And with that being said, let's talk about this matchup. Khan's team is consistent of Latios, Quaquaval, Extremetail, Ursaluna, Archaladon, Rhythm Heat, Mug, Arboliva Mastering, and surprisingly, his only Terra Captain being Weavile. Now, personally, I find Weavile as a Terra Captain very weird, especially a matchup that Weavile is in, where I think personally Weavile cannot Terra in this matchup. And let me talk, and I'll tell you a little bit why here in a bit of. But otherwise, I think his team's pretty predictable of what I know he can bring. Now, obviously, it's a little bit of a risk to bring Ursaluna into the Sun team when I have Chi, which can just obliterate that unless it's AV, which I think it's forced to be Assault Vest in this matchup in order to be able to take on things like the Spectrier and the Chi respectively, and even the Walking Wake to a certain degree, and the Venusaur to a certain degree. Definitely think Rotom Heat comes because Rotom Heat can definitely take advantage of my Sun and give the strong attacks. I personally think, and this could be a little bit of a risk on their end, but I think Latios does do very well to me. I think like a Scarf Latios or a Dragon Dance Latios makes a ton of sense into my team. Quaquaval, believe it or not, I think can actually still have a really good matchup because Quaquaval doesn't really need Water Stab in this matchup. Quaquaval has both Ice and Flying coverage, which check things like Great Tusk, Venusaur, and even arguably my Rotom Fan before Terra and even my Trophius to a center descent. So I actually can think there's a decent chance we do not see Quabbel come. Now, it could definitely be a spin. It could still carry Aquacept, do a little bit of damage under the sun, but still having that speed boost. Some other things I know that I think Weavile makes a lot of sense because it's your Terra Captain. I also think Screamtail. Screamtail to take advantage of Sun is very annoying for my team, especially if it lets me know exactly what kind of defensive set he more so is, or if he's a fast or is basically a fast HP invest user. So that's very much into them. So look at this. This is going to be the team that we are going to be bringing today, as I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry about that. First off, we're kicking off with arguably the MVP. Even though it could have swept, it got critted. Well, it came out of a para, then it would have meant to change a little bit thing. But regardless, I think it was still our MVP of last game. It is Spec Shirt here. We're actually running a modest spec this week. As you really look, besides Ursaluna and most likely Ursaluna, and you can arguably say Weavile, but Weavile doesn't really count. Spectre kind of just goes a wall in this matchup. Dark Ball's Dragon Kiss, Shadow Ball, and Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp is on there just to kind of get a good burn on the Weavile switch in, or even a Chaladon switch in, or even to catch, even though it would be stupid, an Earth's Luna switch in, which can be really good chip damage. Now, obviously, I did not put Hex on this set because it didn't make sense for me to be able to do that. I felt like just having Will-O-Wisp is a really good option there. Bird needs to get chip damage, really good. Dark Pulse is there to be able to take a neutral hit onto the Screen Tail and for the Ursaluna if they don't want to try to go into their bulletproof Pokemon. I also think Draining Kiss is just really reliable recovery in case we want to go into an in game there where Draining Kiss can just be able to spam its way through and be able to take out so many Pokemon. This thing can definitely be a breaker, but also could it be a win con? We just got to figure out how we want to go with this. First off, my Great Tusk is not name and not shiny for some reason. We are gonna fix that right now. But we got Yabba Dabba Doo here, our great tusk. We're bringing back the choice band set with the standard Sun Abuse speed stat this week. Pretty much went a little bit specially defensive with this real build, so we'll be able to take a little bit more of the hits. But we have Heavy Slam, Head Launch, Knockoff, and Close Combat. This pretty much checks everything on my opponent's roster and guarantee OKOs everything. If they are Scarf Latios, we should be theoretically be able to take at least one Luster Purge or Psychic, but only if we are full health. Full health. If we take any chip damage, at least 10 to 15%, we will pretty much be in range of that hit regardless. We have a new name change this time around. We have Michelangelo the Torkoal this week with Rapid Spin, Lava Plume, Clear Smog, Solar Beam with Heat Rock, Max HP, 112 in defense, 136 depth with the Call of Nature. We are calm nature this week just because we want to be a little more specially defensive, but we are still decently physically defensive as well. With Rapid Spin, we get rid of the rocks and any type of hazards and also the webs that my opponent can potentially bring, which I think was really awesome. Lava Bloom is really good to get burns, and then Solar Beam is just really good shift damage, and also lets me be able to take the hit the Ursaluna, which I think is really important as well. Overall, this Pokemon can just be able to spam Lava Plume and just get burns off easily is really, really good. But of course, we have the Sun. We have Venusaur here. We are Growth Venusaur this week with a kind of a mixed set this week with Growth knockoff Sludge Bomb and Energy Ball. With the Growth, with our investment, we guarantee Oko Latios at full with non-Copa Berry with this investment. And we did go naive because I did not want to go hasty. We can actually take on most things on them physically, then especially. Um, I actually think I'm going to change this because I think Energy Ball can actually get affected with bulletproof. So gonna make that change just to be safe. 32 in HP, 48 attack, max special attack, and enough speed to outspeed everything. This does lose to Scarf Gladio, so that's why we're specifically Payapa Berry. So we guarantee take the hit, and once when we get that growth off, we can just be able to do much damage and take a lot of things out. Now, if Screen Tail is the speed boosted investment set, I had to check to make sure if it does outspeed me, because if I get a growth off as it comes in as a speed boost, it could encore me into growth and be able to chip me down if I am not careful. Up next, we have Azura here with the Chople Berry, with Nasty Plot, Fire Blast, Dark Pulse, and Psychic. This is kind of a more sort of ish bulky offensive set this week, where only enough speed to outspeed the Quaquaval and everything below it. With having Chople Berry, we'd be able to take at least one fighting type move from the Quaquaval, but we also take an Aura Spear from the Latios. Plus, if we get a Nasty Plot off, we will be able to just start smoking through my opponent's team. We have enough speed to outspeed a zero speed invested Scream Tail if that is the case. And this can just blast through a lot of things. And last but not least, we have Crescent, our Cresselia, our kind of Cresselia this week. Now, the reason why I went with more of an offensive set with Terra Fairy this week is just primarily because Cresselia does a lot more damage. Moonlight, which is recovery, and then just these three moves pretty much check everything in my opponent's roster with Terra Fairy. We can be able to take on a lot of things very easily, and we can just spam Moonblast, Psychic, and Shadow Ball against my opponent's roster. We went more physically defensive for bulk, though, just because I felt it was really needed. So, with that being said, we have this matchup. Let's go ahead and get into the battle versus Khan. Here's hoping to a really good game. And yeah, I'm just hoping that we have a really good game. Sorry if it also sounds a bit echoey in here. It's just because that's just how my dining room table is. That's just how it is. So we're still waiting for Colin to accept the challenge. SA. So he did bring him. He is Terra Poison. Wow, he didn't bring Ursaluna. I'm also surprised he did not bring Rotom Heat. Very, very surprised. So we don't see a Rotom Heat. We see the Archaludon, which it still was fair into this team. It definitely was, but no Ursaluna is crazy, dude. So wow, wow. So pretty much he does not have a normal resist. So that's really good for us. That's really, really good for us. Which means Spectre is now potentially a win con. Yabba Dabba Doo is easily a win con. So we have a really he really struggles with my team. I think I'm gonna go ahead and lead. Let's see here. I'm gonna leave with my Michelangelo here. Just to see what he wants to lead off here. He actually decides to lead off with the Alright, so Quabble, Torkoal, Solar Beam doesn't kill you, and you don't really do much to me. I'm perfectly fine going for a Solar Beam here. I also could just Lava Bloom here. Yeah, I'm just gonna Lava Plume here. He's gonna taunt. Okay, so we got a Solar Beam there. Get a good 20% off. No burn. He's leftovers. Okay, so that's good information to know. He's not a boosted item. Alright, so he is taunt Quabble Wobble Wobble Wobble. So he is taunt. So that probably tells me that he's not SD then, which is really, really good. So they did 20%. Is that max HP? That's about max HP. I could just Lava Plume here again. There's no reason not to. I was gonna Lava Plume here again. Is he gonna knock off? Which gets with the Heat Rock, which is not necessarily the worst thing here. No burn, unfortunately. So we see a knockoff here. So yeah, this is pretty much just a utility set then. So I think I'm just gonna go for the Solar Beam here then. He could try to Roost here. He is Proboscipice' speed, okay. Okay, so that's very interesting. You do not have a Heavy Slam resistance, really. And now you don't have a really good Fire Blast switching, so I'm gonna go into my Azura here. As you're in an Encore. Okay, so we do see Encore. We do see Encore, so that's something we gotta keep note here. And I'm just gonna Fire Blast. So we see Encore and Protect. Okay, so this is pretty much then just Wish. So let's look at Screamtail here. Screamtail. We can also just look at the defensive aspect here. So that Solar Beam to this thing did 17%. That's looking definitely like max HP Screamtail. If I look at my Chi-Yu in the sun, Fire Blocks is 75 to 89%. And seeing as you do not have a resistance to this, I'm just going to click it. As they're going to get a Rocks. Okay, so they get Rocks up here. So this basically tells me they either have a Psychic move or a Fairy move. So that's really good. We do have Spin, so we can spin these away. My guess here is they are going to probably Protect here. So I'm going to Dark Pulse here. So I do. So now I can make a prediction play here. So they're probably not Thunder Wave then as their last move. And since they're faster than me, I can get a free Nasty Plot off here. I'm going to Nasty Plot. They have to have an offensive move on this. Yep. Perfect. I guarantee LTV for Quabble. I'm just going to click Psychic. This should guarantee knockout any variant of Quabble +2. This should guarantee any variant. Yeah, Psychic Oko's this thing. So we're going to Psychic here. Get rid of Quabble. So Quabble's gone, which is huge for us. We're +2 now, and he does not have a switch into us. So that's really good. But now that we know that he's booster speed, that probably tells us... Screamtail. That probably tells us that he is most likely timid. Latios is in. I have my Culver Berry for this. I'm just going to Dark Pulse here. Can Latios live a hit here? Latios... If it's Choice Specs and it's Draco Meteor, I do die, but that does let me come in and just pretty much steamroll for his team. Not Aura Wheel. Aura Spiel, if it's Choice Specs, definitely doesn't knock me out. If there's, again, like I said, it's Draco. Like, I don't think you Draco Draco here. There's no reason for you to Draco here. So I'm gonna just go drop a Dark Pulse here. As he's gonna flip turn here. And he sacks off Scream Tail, which is huge for us. So Scream Tail's being gone, he's huge. So Latios with flip turn. Flip turn. Are you physical? So flip turn does 30 to 36%. That's probably physical. That's probably just not standard. I mean, I still take a hit here. I don't really just see the Michiyu. So I'm just gonna Dark Pulse here. You do Draco, which is fine. And right here, I can kind of just go into my group and kind of just win the game. Let me look at Weavile here. Weavile with Spectre here. My Shadow Ball does 31 to 37. If I get a special defense drop, Shadow Ball was probably not killing. So what I think I do here is I think I go into my Cresselia, I believe. Or do I go to my Torkoal? I could just go to my Great Tusk and probably go for just a safe knockoff here. I don't know my Michelangelo here. And what I think I'm then gonna do is I'm gonna then I want to make a level to Gabba up in here. So he stayed in. Interesting. And he misses a Draco, which is actually kind of big for him. So if this Latios is Choice Sparked, Draco Meteor at -2 to my Tusk does 35 to 41. A close combat does 2 KO it to a Masquerain. Heavy Slam's doing the work. Even at -1, Heavy Slam can 2-shot, and I can always pivot back out. Or I could just safely knock off here. I feel like he makes the pivot into Masquerain. I feel like that's the safer play. Because I don't think you go Archaladon here. Fearing a move here. I think either you're going to sack off your Latios. Either you're going to sack off your Latios, or you are going... I'm very surprised they would Draco here again when they could have spun. They're either sack off their Latios here, or they're either going to go into the Archaladon or into the Masquerain. And I think... Close combat is pretty free here. Heavy Slam's also pretty free here. I feel like you're never going to go into your thing here. How much does a -1 knockoff do? -1 knockoff. With no item. So let's say we do like 50 something percent. Yeah, heavy slam's my best play here, so I'm gonna heavy slam here. So we did 50%. So that tells me that that is slightly bulk invested. I'm gonna take a risk here and heavy slam here again, as he tries to set up webs. And he lives on 1. Of course he does. And he hydro pumped. Okay. Knowing that he's gonna hydro pump here, I'm gonna go... He might just sack this now. So what I think I'm gonna do here now is probably go... I actually need to save this so I can take on our Chaladon. So I think I go... I go Cressio. Okay, they're Custap Berry. Perfect. Sticky Whips, that's fine. Right here, I can go for a safe Moonblast. Not revealed the Terra Fairy yet. So they're Hydro Pump, Sticky Web. If they're not speed invested, because I'm guessing with the Custap Berry, they're not speed invested. Cresselia, if they're not speed invested, well, here's the thing, right? If they're timid, they do outspeed me, but I don't think they do. So what I think I'm actually going to do here is I'm actually going to go for a Shadow Ball here. It's a U-turn. Interesting. U-turn here. Archaladon, let's look at that damage. If it's AV Archaladon, how much did that Shadow Ball been doing? Oh, I don't want to put that. 11 to 13. That did... Alright, that should do as much as it. So if I Terra Fairy here, I should do 26 to 32%. So what I think I do is I Terra Fairy here and Moonblast. I'm perfectly fine sacking off Cress. So they're gonna Thunderbolt me here. I go for a Moonblast, does 37%. Their Flash Cannon out of me does 51 to 61% if they have it. So I'm gonna Moonlight here. Say Flash Cannon, does knock me out here. And what I think I do now is I still go Pegasus here. My Pegasus should knock this thing out if it's max HP. Ooh, I don't. With my Torkoal, I'll be at something percent. Can Thunderbolt knock me out? Thunderbolt would knock me out. If he doesn't have Draco on this thing, which I don't think he would be, I'm gonna take a risk here. I'm gonna try to spin. Because Thunderbolt doesn't knock me out, Flashkin doesn't knock me out, he has to have Dragon Meteor or Dragon Pulse to knock me out. And even if he's Dragon Pulse... He only does 30, so he actually could knock me out with that, but he is +2. +2. Body Press. Does 29 to 34%, so he actually does not knock me out with a Body Press. He's got a Thunderbolt. Oh my god. Oh Oh my god. Of course you get a fucking crit, man! Because unless you're max special attack, and you're modest, even then that's a roll. This is really bad now. This is really, really, really bad now. That's so infuriating, dude. That's so infuriating. That crit mattered so much, dude. I have to go Yabba Dabba Doo now. I'm at basically neutral speed now. Or on -1, basically. So basically what he just does here, I just click close combat. Oh, so infuriating, dude. That really is. That crit matter. Just even if he's max special attack, the crit's a roll. And I'd rather if it came down to a roll than anything else, but come on, man. Of course. Of course it gets the crit. He Dracos. And, that's probably game now. Because my Venusaur can't do anything. I would need to... Yeah, I would need to really get lucky here. And I'm not faster than Weavile. I don't think he saves this. Yep. Oh wow, crit for crit. Like, that's gonna matter, though. That's so infuriating, dude. Because now Weavile just wins. GG's. Second week in a row of crit loss. There's nothing I can do. Weavile just clicks knockoff into Ice Shard. I literally cannot beat Weavile. Because even if my Venusaur comes in, with Sun up, I can't outspeed the Weavile. That's so infuriating, dude. That's so infuriating. Charlatan, Timid, Thunderbolt. Oh, of course, man. He just clicks knockoff here. I can't really do anything. I'm just gonna Shadow Ball. Pray to God he chokes. No. That's so infuriating, dude. I'm going to just knock if we have a chance. Because realistically what he can do here is he can just sack off the Masquerain to give me diff, and then he just goes right back into either Weavile or Latios. Oh, that's actually kind of cool tech. I actually like the knock and protect there. But yeah, there's nothing I can do. I lose this game to 2 or 3-0. That's so freaking infuriating, man. That's so freaking infuriating. Because if I got that spin off, I won the game. I would have won this game if it wasn't for that crit. That's just infuriating, man. That's 2 weeks in a row. We granted last week's crit was deserved for the crit we got on the Dunsparce, but that's just so infuriating, man. That's so infuriating to lose. Because as we look at this calc, right, with the Torkoal was sitting at 34%. So we were sitting at 34%. We were at then 117 HP. As you can clearly say, it guaranteed two shots us. It doesn't OHKO us at all. The crit, and especially since he confirmed that he's timid. If it was modest, it was a rule. But since he's confirmed timid, that guarantee cost us the game. Oh, and I was so prepared for this game, man. I was so prepared for this game. Just a frustrating way to lose. But it's how it's gonna be, man. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.